Already today's city challenge: Black Dust Cloud, Reinforced Doors, Aegis Academy, and Explosive Revenge. There's Reinforced Doors. We can actually bring the dumper, and that means that we're gonna have a lot of explosives, since, well, unfortunately, Reinforced Doors does require 2 explosives to actually breach. But then again, that's not really that difficult to fulfill, so we're just gonna go through here, all the way over here, then we're just going to start dumpering. I mean, that's literally it. Then afterwards, we're gonna go over here, and we're hopefully not gonna let any Aegis units pass by, since it's Aegis Academy. I mean, finally, aside from that, there's Explosive Revenge, which doesn't really matter, and in fact will probably help us since, well, there are explosives over there, and they do, to some extent, do some kind of friendly fire damage, so I suppose it is helpful, provided that there are actually units over there, but regardless, we could always just wait a bit, see if anything happens. Which is a bit unfortunate, but regardless, we're just gonna stay here. We're gonna do just fine, and who knows, maybe at some point we'll grab that medkit over there that we very, very much do not need. But then again, that's a lot of shotgunners, which isn't exactly great, but the door should open soon, so we should probably consider moving, well, relatively soon. So we're just gonna go through here, we're gonna go through here, and we're just going to avoid literally every single unit that we can for hopefully rather obvious reasons. So Cyber's gonna breach that. We're gonna post up over here for a bit, then we're just gonna quickly back in over here since, well, the door's open now, and it is some kind of cover, so we probably should just use it. Those are CBRCs. That is not very, very, very ideal, since they're, well, CBRCs, and they are quite threatening in the sense that they are terrifying, since they do a lot of damage and they can do it from very, very far away. I mean, even if it's close by, it can still do a lot of damage. Now, unfortunately, Reinforced Doors does still apply to, well, all of this. Which does mean that it's gonna take absolutely ages, but in theory all should be fine. At least that's the ideal here, so who knows, we might just work with it. And since we've got an extra medkit, we might as well just grab it. And since our unit's over there, and since we very, very much want to bring Cyber some ammunition, we're just gonna go over here. We're gonna drop F57 over here, we're gonna drop a Saw Blade over there, and we're just gonna post up over there. As the S97s presumably show up. Because if I'm not wrong, the unit should very much still be there. And I meant units, not another Saw Blade. But I mean, more ammo's more ammo, I suppose, so there's that. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna continue waiting. See if we can... Well, that's one way of sorting things out. I suppose that works, and then whenever we're ready, we're just gonna move. And we're just gonna go through here. And then later, once Cyber is done using a dumper, well, it will make actually trying to get an FI7 quite simple. Mainly because there's one already on the floor that we can very, very much use. And since we've got an extra dumper shot, we could always just do this. Shouldn't be too complicated. Right then, never mind, all we have to do is just go downstairs. Since it's still Reinforced Doors, which means that it actually doesn't really do anything, mainly because we literally cannot grab anything, but regardless, we're gonna grab a drill, Cyber's gonna grab some thermite, and we're gonna try and grab a way to leave. Speaking of which, we're just gonna go through here, hopefully Cyber's gonna collapse in on us, which would be quite nice, so that we can go through here. And I mean, there are FI7s here, and there is a Saw Blade over there, which I would say overall is quite convenient. And of course, we're gonna unlock this first, not for any real reason, but mainly because it's mildly funny, and that's really about it. So, presumably, Cyber will join us up here relatively soon, instead of going for that Saw Blade that is ever so appealing. Which is ever so appealing, and not appealing, but regardless, we're gonna wait over here. And unfortunately, because it's still Reinforced Doors, it's gonna take a while, but it shouldn't be too bad. At least that's the hope, so hopefully it isn't that bad. But I mean more CBRCs, which is quite lovely, except for the fact that I have a dumper. But then again, there's a very simple solution to that, which is to just, well, do this. And then now we've got a lot of ammunition that we very much probably do not need, but it's fine. We can work with it. We can continue waiting over here, and once Cyber's done in the first part, we're just gonna move, since that would be hopefully rather obvious. Since we don't want to spend that long here, because we really do not need to. So, now that we've met some shotgunners, we're just gonna quickly deal with them. There should be one more. And not just a flashbang, but alright, that works. And since Cyber's done in the first part, we're just gonna go through here, avoid as many units as we can, have that door thankfully be open. And of course, that means we can just run through here, and since we've got a drill, we can just run through there, but first of all, I do want to do one thing, which is to go down over here, get this open, then go back upstairs. Is there a real need to do that? No, not really, but it would be nice. That's really the only rationale behind it, so it might help later on, but then again, we could just jump down and then afterwards grab 2 bombs, and then afterwards just go through a much more convoluted method, and it'll still work out just fine, so I suppose it's good and it's not really great, but then again, there weren't any units there, and there probably weren't going to be anytime soon. So we're doing just fine overall. We're gonna plant one over here, and then afterwards we're just gonna grab our CBRC back out since, well, I mean, it exists. And then we're gonna go down through here, plant one over here, and then hopefully we can get out of here without meeting any units. I mean, it would be fine if we met someone, but it wouldn't really be great. So we're just gonna run through here very awkwardly, post up over here for a bit, and then run through here with, well, a reloaded CBRC that we still don't really need that much, but I suppose we could appreciate. So now that we've got a final 2, we're just gonna go up through here. Cyber's got a very long thermite operation to do. I mean, it's not that long, it's just not very fast. So we're just gonna keep waiting. It's gonna go just fine. And presumably, by now, we would have at least had some units actually show up. Or at least some kind of sound in the form of people getting shot. But nevertheless, we can just wait here, see if anyone shows up, and that's literally it. We've got that final 2, so once Cyber's done over there, we can just plant a final 2, and then hope that all goes well from there on out. Such as not having 20 CBRCs behind us, or 20 shotgunners behind us, or really for that matter, 20 units of anything behind us. Or actually, since it's Aegis Academy, 20 Aegis units behind us. Not that it's very realistic, but I suppose it's nice. So we're just gonna wait over here. Hopefully all goes well. Hopefully Cyber will be done soon, and then hopefully we can plant these, well, relatively soon. But first, we're just gonna move around since there's not really anything going on, and I would much rather be over here. Not for any real reason, but since our final section is just the workshop, we're gonna open this, and who knows, we might even go down over there and just pay him a visit. Should we? No, not really. But would it be mildly funny? Perhaps. So who knows? We're gonna start with the one over here, so essentially Cyber's gonna be done with that over there. We're gonna plant one over here, and we're just gonna run across since, well, there is one spawn over there, and it is generally much more terrifying than this one since it's much, well, harder to see units actually start showing up. But regardless, we can always go over here. Go over here, and then very quickly just flee. For hopefully rather obvious reasons. But there's an entire squad over there, which is very much not welcome. So we're just gonna run through here before we actually get shot, well, a lot more than I want to. Before we can finally start dealing with whatever's going on over there. After missing, well, essentially half our shots, which I can't really say is amazing, but we're not doing too poorly either. Except for the fact that there's an entire CBRC squad over there. And another FI7 squad over there, or maybe just one unit. Honestly, I'm not sure, but then again, that wasn't really a CBRC squad. But it was a lot of just free ammunition, which I suppose will be helpful later on. But that's really about it. And I suppose we'll have to deal with the units over there very slowly before we go over there. Deal with that continuously, take care of it, and then have some very opportune timing. But regardless, that's the daily challenge in just under 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Cheers everyone, have a great time!